Welcome to Cultivate Processing. So Cultivate is a companion system to legally take credit and debit card payments. We do not miscode or have a foreign bank processing all the transactions. Everything is done domestically. Also, we're not a replacement for your seed-to-sale point-of-sale system. We are simply a checkout system. So if you have a point-of-sale system in place, you can continue to use that. You just need to add a Cultivate tender button on your point-of-sale, tender everything to that. That way your reporting stays compliant, and you can use our Cultivate station just to actually take the credit and debit card payments. So Cultivate is an iPad-based checkout system that accepts all card brands, both debit cards and credit cards. We found it ridiculous that a legal dispensary can't process cards or has to do a silly workaround to be able to accept payments. So that's why we built Cultivate. And we built it with the idea of giving dispensaries a merchant credit card processing account the same that they would find at the restaurant next door. And we've achieved this with great success. So let me take you on a 60-second tour of Cultivate's solution. And at the end of this demo, I can go over how we also handle a banking portion, or you could talk to a Cultivate sales rep, but we do also compliantly bank dispensaries in all 50 states. So your hardware will arrive programmed and ready to go. You'll have an iPad Air 2, a transaction stand, and a credit card terminal that'll take both chip card payments and swipe payments. Okay, well, let's begin. So first log in with your PIN number. Every employee has a PIN number that you set up from your back-end dashboard. It's unique and it tracks the transactions that they're doing. So, as mentioned before, everything is done on your point of sale. This is just for the checkout. So you simply just go ahead and enter the transaction value, hit confirm and continue. Now this is what we call the data file screen. It is optional. You don't need it. You can take a picture of the credit card, picture of the person's ID, dispensary card, any receipt that you got from your point of sale. A bunch of different options for you to do. Again, that's completely optional. If you don't want that, this screen will not show. This is the tip screen. Again, this will be optional. It's ideal for curbside deliveries and anything that's mobile. However, if you don't include this, the screen won't show either. So I'm just going to go ahead for this and hit no tip. But before that, in the top left, you can see where it says tax. You can set your tax on Cultivate, or you can disable that as well if it's already calculating the tax on your point of sale. So you have the option to do debit card and credit card payments. They both flow similar. A debit card transaction, you just hit debit card and insert the credit card into the terminal, and you're done. For a credit card transaction, which I'll show you, there's one extra step. You need to enter the customer's phone number. And the customer is actually going to receive a secure text message to verify that payment. Once they get that text message, they just enter it back on their phone. And you can go ahead and hit continue. And it will move you to the signature screen. Now the signature screen is pretty cool. You just sign with your finger right in the box there and hit done. There's also an option to reset the signature if you don't like it. And there's an optional thumbprint. So if you press and hold your thumb onto the screen for 2 seconds and remove it, you'll see a green check mark appear that signifies that the fingerprint is done. Now the iPod glass technology can't recognize a fingerprint, so it's simply there as a deterrent. It's not actually capturing a thumbprint. Go ahead and complete payment. And the customer has an option to get a text message receipt in which they just enter their phone number, or an email, which they just enter their email, or they can hit no receipt and be done. That is how you run a transaction on Cultivate. Now, if you want to see past transactions, maybe you want to give a refund, do a void, just hit that menu button in the top right corner, go to customer history, look up the transaction, any transaction, click them, and you can see the void or the refund. You'll see images there of a keyboard, but normally that would be a license or credit card if you wanted to keep that data file page. You also have access to a shift report that updates in real time, shows the tip amount, if any, and the total amount, shows the last four of the credit cards and the username that ran the transaction. At the end of the night, you just hit end shift, and that will batch everything out and will send all the reports to your back end. Now, we'll also be making a video on the back end, so please check that out on how to set up logins, PIN numbers, and access all your reports. Thank you. Have a good day.